Okay.
Hey, Courtney, just entering last regular season series, just how big of it is it this time of year, maybe battling fatigue, just having gone through an SEC schedule that's pretty grueling, and how are y'all maybe doing that?
I think that fatigue is kind of hits everyone. I don't think it's really affecting us too much. I mean, obviously that we're tired, but we're competitors, and so I don't think it's um, I think we do a pretty good job of body maintenance. Our trainer Andrew is incredible. Just making sure that we're staying ahead of a lot of those things, the aches and pains, more than fatigue. Um, and I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, what do you mainly want to see from your team this weekend going down there against obviously a really good Texas team?
Well, we want to see a strong finish in regular season. It's nice coming off the weekend, winning a series when I don't necessarily feel like we played our best. And that's part of it. Part of it is just figuring out, how to win games when you're not flowing as well. But I think we want to get back to who we are and what's made us really good. And so I think it's just putting the focus this week on really diving into our prep and trusting our plans and really focusing on what we do well collectively, and leaning into each other going into this last weekend.
Yeah, well, Texas, when you look at their offense, just what makes them so effective top to bottom?
Well, they're really talented. They have a really good mix of speed and power and just elite hitters. And so, and I think more than anything, when you look at a team like Texas, they know how to win. And so, we know they're gonna demand our best. We're gonna have to go in there and line it up and give them everything we have.
I'm sure you knew you'd be asked about this. Just are we gonna see Dakota at all this weekend? What's her status?
I think we will see her in some capacity. As soon as our doctors and Andrew say that she's good to go and whatever that looks like, then we'll go. But we're still going to be really mindful of the big picture. And she's doing really well. She's really tough. And she's going to do whatever she can for this team.
That's all I got.
Can you
Dudley?
hear me now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me
I
now?
got you.
All right. The obviously the you've got a great lineup from top to bottom. Talk to me a little bit about what it's like to have a lineup that can start a rally at any point from one to the bottom of the lineup.
Well, it's huge. It's huge because we're not just relying on one bat or just the top of our order, just the middle of our order. We've been really productive throughout, and so it's big time. I mean, I think this past weekend we had a good number of two out runs also, which is really big. Like this team doesn't flinch at who's up, what the situation is, how many outs we have, any of it. And so it's big. It's big. They've been really productive throughout.
And also, we talk about the lead up. Reagan has been there for it seems like forever. But she gets things going, whether it's via walk, hit, whatever she needs, and then gets on base and causes havoc. How important has she been over these years, and how important will she be in this last stretch?
Oh, she's been really, I mean, really important. She's our all-time hits leader, which means that you don't get there by just having one or two good years. You get there by having steady production and just being really consistent. And that's who Reagan's been in every area. She's just been crazy consistent offensively, defensively, who she is to this team, how you rely on her every day, her leadership, everything. So she's been huge and will continue to be huge until her very last pitch.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any more questions?
Yeah. On the note of Reagan, just obviously Oklahoma and Missouri have done that shift where they pull in an extra infielder. Just how do you feel like she's handling? Because I'm sure that's got to be a little bit mental, just to see that. How do you think she's handling the different looks she's getting?
I think she's handling it fine. I think it's tough because you're gonna, have people be like, just pull the ball. Like, but that's not a slapper's game. It's not what they do. It was interesting. My dad's a retired baseball coach, and so he came in and he was just like, when is softball gonna do away with the shift like baseball has? Like, that like you shouldn't, so maybe that's next. I think that slappings with how offensive our games is and is continuing to become, I think slapping's going to be something that kind of transitions out, and especially if we continue to have these shifts and so I think she's handling it really well. I think she has elite speed. I think there's times where I think you feel like you have to be something else with that shift, and she doesn't need to be. And so I think she's gone through all of the emotions of that and is handling it really well.
I do have one. You referenced early on just a weekend you won the series, but you didn't necessarily feel like you played your best. Fine tuning the things that you want to fine tune, getting to where you feel like you are playing your best. What does that look like at this point in the year where you have one more conference series on the road, right into SEC tournament, and then you're on the point in the year where you want to be at your best? What does fine tuning look like in these last couple of weeks versus maybe what it looked like, in week 4, week 6?
I think fine tuning at this point is honestly just getting them feeling good. I mean, this team is elite, and a lot of your best teams, especially when you're coming out of the SEC, you're a little weathered, like you've been through it. And even though we've won a lot of games, we won them different ways and not always feel good ways and so it's just getting them back to just really having a ton of confidence. They have confidence, but just reminding them how good they are, and you need that down the stretch.
I'll hop back in. Just obviously a name that a lot of people know, Tegan Cavan. Just what makes her such the pitcher that she is.
Well, she's elite. She spins the ball really well. She mixes speeds really well. She's incredibly deceptive. This is the first time we'll see her live, and so I'm looking forward to seeing her live. I have a huge appreciation for great pitchers, and so I'm excited to see her live. But she has a extensive profile, and she can use any of her pitches in any count. So
You said you have a deep appreciation for good pitchers. You have obviously some on your staff, and there's some in the conference, all throughout the conference. Just has that grown, especially just with kind of how offensive the game has become whenever you see a pitcher lighting it up right now?
yeah, it's tough. It's tough to be a pitcher right now. It is. And so, yeah, I've always tipped my cap, had a huge respect and appreciation for pitching and what pitching is to this game. And it's never been it's never been harder. It's crazy offensive. The data, all of it, all the things that are lining up to why it's hard. And so, yeah, I love watching good pitching. I love good softball, and softball, when you think about good softball, pitching's at the core of it. And so I will always have an appreciation for that.
Yeah. And then speaking on pitching, just Robin and Peyton, I think this year just both of their free passes are down quite a bit. Just how big of an emphasis was that, in the off season after last year to just, limit those?
It's always a big emphasis for us, just because it's easier to recover from like a solo shot, obviously, and so we want them to earn everything they're gonna get from us. Especially with them, it's just getting to understand like how with their break and their profile and everything is just kind of creating outs and not giving momentum. And obviously, it's part of the game; it's going to happen. But when we can limit that, and especially with how powerful the game is, if they went out, it's easier to recover from a solo shot than a crooked number. And so just really doing our job to limit that, trust our spin through these strike zones as much as we can.
Yeah. And then we actually haven't asked you about this, so I'm curious your thoughts on they announced the SEC tournament's going to be played at one location in Alabama every year. Just thoughts on maybe that transition from what's been, the norm for I don't know how many years now, where it's gone campus to campus.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that when you're looking at how to continue to grow our game and our conference is at the forefront of that. And so if this is something that grows it even more and creates kind of a destination tournament for people to go to and makes it a big deal and puts it on the stage that we have earned, I'm looking forward to seeing it and being a part of it.